had some ideas that I wanted to share with you today. Trauma. Okay, I just did a post on trauma talking about the results of healing from trauma. Well, I was basically just imagining how we interact with each other, and especially when it comes to parents and children, but any relationship. If you're getting triggered or things that are happening that are painful and you're angry at the person, and so basically what that is it's like you're talking to their trauma. What if that's not actually who they are, but their trauma? That's what it is with in family patterns. That's why I keep on bringing the relationship up with parents and children, because family trauma is what gets passed along the generational lines. And so when you're interacting with your parents, of course, if you have some trauma around that, which most people do, like there's something there, many people have beautiful relationships with their parents, and that's awesome, but there might be some stuff that trigger you, right? So what's going on there? It's reflecting back pain that you have from their trauma, but it really reflects back on your trauma. Like, what if it's just trauma? What if it's not who they actually are? And what if you're being triggered is not actually who you are? It's a reflection of where your healing work is. And once you get the healing work in that area and send that area some love, that attention, the healing, as that happens, you're less triggerable. Hasn't there been times when you have experienced healing in your life and you're like, oh yeah, that stuff used to bother me, but now it rolls off me? That's possible in every relationship. That's like we're kind of here in that way to do that for each other, is we trigger each other and then we get mirrored. And see, the thing is if you're not tuned into this is how this works, you just get angry and you project and you start defending yourself and start getting really, but the anger in my experience doesn't get healed by being able to express anger, right? Anger doesn't completely heal. You might get some chemicals out and emotions out, and there's nothing wrong with that if you want to yell into a pillow or whatever, but I have realized that doesn't actually heal the anger. The anger is a pattern that needs to be seen, that needs to be loved within you. So being angry about being angry, or needing to think that the way to heal it is to express it in some way and you're not able to express it, well, I'm just going to offer you, what if it's not the expression of anger that heals anger? What if it's the expression of love that heals anger within you? What if it's the acknowledgement and the pattern needing to be seen, that part of you as a small child, or that part of you that has been, anger really comes from violation of boundaries. So that's trauma. Violation of boundary, that creates trauma. But if that, as traumatized children, we were always looking for someone to save us. Little did we know that person would be us as an adult. That's the gift that you get to give yourself. I'm going to tell you, I've actually been in the process of studying craniosacral therapy, so I have been working on clients and practicing and learning in addition to my life coaching and energy healing practice. And the energy healing could be hands-on, it's also remote. But the cranio right now is really hands-on. And the body work, I've been a recipient of craniosacral therapy for at least the past 15 years, completely supported me through all of my healing process. Because when there's trauma, the body is like frozen. And the power of touch, actually my client today just said to me, have you ever read the book, The Power of Touch, or something like that? So touch is really, really powerful. And what I've realized through doing this work is our bodies need the practitioners there to create a feeling of safety. And also we're tapped into certain parts of the, anatomy and all that stuff. So we have to pay attention to things. But however, it's really the client, it's your body that is going to be doing the work, that's doing the healing work, that is healing itself from the trauma, because it knows, your body is so super intelligent, it knows how to heal itself. It just needs a safe space in which to do that in. So wherever you are, if you have the ability and you're wanting to do that, I just more and more just see how much body work plus coaching plus just whatever it is that is calling to you, but understand that healing is completely available. And the more that you heal, the less triggerable you are. And the more that you heal, the more free you are. And the more you heal, the more available you are for deeper, more wonderful connections. And the more available you are to be of service and to help. And I will also say that trauma is a lower vibration, okay? And what the world is experiencing now is trauma. It's been going through a lot of it. And now is not any different. Although there's new things that are coming up. And 1 second. I love Brooklyn. Anyway, so what else? So this is what I want to say. So when we're in a frequency of the hurt and the fear frequency, that gives more power to the fear frequency. Okay, if we want, what kind of a world do you want to live in? What kind do you want to create? It has to start within you, because that's the only place that there's power. Like, I can't stop the war that's happening. I wish that I could. I've been sending prayers. I've been doing what I can do. There's just some things that are just too big, and maybe they're supposed to be, right? So that way we're forced to go inwards. Because where is the trauma that's being brought up in you? And when you heal that, your vibrational frequency raises because the lower frequency is let go of. I know I'm talking about frequency, but it's really more about feeling good and feeling not good. So when you're feeling in alignment and when you're feeling good, that gives the general consciousness, that helps the collective on healing. So that way these kind of energies that are creating the chaos in the world right now are not as sustainable. So you really are very powerful, but it's really up to us how deep we want to go and what do you really want to be experiencing. And one other thing, and then I'm going to close up. Feel the feeling that you really want to be experiencing, especially if you're in a fear, if you're in whatever, I don't know what you've been reading or looking at or talking to or whoever it is. And even when I was talking in the beginning of when I started to walk and talk, is that when we're dealing with people that trigger us, right, we're really just dealing with their trauma. So, even growing up, like if there was stuff that was happening, because there was, that was trauma, like it's just, you're just dealing with somebody else's trauma. And as a kid, unfortunately, you're just a recipient of it. But on a larger scale, this is what I believe is coming into the world, is this higher level consciousness where it's not sustainable. The fear factor is not sustainable. It keeps on coming up, but it's not really how we want to be experiencing the world. So if you're experiencing your life in a way that you're not wanting to experience it, you could move into, well, you could stay there. Honestly, sometimes we just need to stay there and to be in that place until we realize that something needs to change. So there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're not comfortable and you want to move into a different place, what is that feeling that you want to be experiencing? Experience that. Like, just feel like, well, if that were to happen, like, what if there was peace in the world, right? What if there was peace in my own heart? What if there was peace in between the families that are fighting and bickering? What if they feel that feeling? What would it feel like to have the trauma just melt, to have the healing just kind of come up, to allow the actual true expression of your own soul to speak through your body? What if that was happening on a massive level? Just think about that, experience that, even just for a second, just those thoughts and those ideas. Just feel the feeling of that freedom, of the peace. What would you be like? How would you be experiencing the world if there was peace? Okay, so by the way, the place that you get to actually experience it first is on an individual level. And I do believe as you experience it on an individual level, you make room for more of the collective to do that as well. Like, we help people, you help yourself. It's like a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win. God gets to be more expressed in you when you have the healing work, because it's not blocked. The flow of energy is not blocked. Trauma blocks energy. We want to open up the flow. Open up the flow, create new neuroplasticity, start creating the world that we want to be experiencing. What if we're more powerful than what's actually going on, and we don't even realize it because we're so fixated on what's going on? But let's turn the fixation on what's going on inside of you. Where is there a war going on inside you? Where is there stuff going on inside of you that really needs healing? Okay, those are my thoughts. It's always a work in progress. If this speaks to you on any level, if you have any comments or questions, just go ahead and drop them in the bottom there. Or if you have anything you'd like to ask me personally, please go ahead and do that. And I'm wishing you a remarkable, amazing